Hi, welcome to my video on solve equations using properties of quadrilaterals. But before I start that video, I just want to note there's an error in video number 18 on extra practice, page 2 of 6, number 2 on diagonal on the bottom. E reads bisects one pair of opposite angles, and the answer is kite. It's not isosceles trapezoid that I wrote down. Again, I wasn't thinking straight, but I just wanted to correct that error. And let's get to the video. Solve equations using the properties of quadrilaterals. So we're going to come up with equations using the properties. So let's do some practice. You can pause the video and see if you can work these out as I go through them. And number one, I have a quadrilateral, four-sided figure in the angles. So the interior angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360. And we add all them up and we'll get 2x and x is 3x. And we add up 110, 40, 120, and 30. That adds up to 300. So 3x equals 360 minus 300. 3x is equal to 60. Divide by 3, and x is equal to 20. So angle A, find the measure of angle A. Angle A is 2x plus 40. So we have 2 times 20 plus 40. 40 plus 40 is 80. So the measure of angle A is 80. And the measure, this angle X is 20, so that's a 50. If you add the 80, 50, 110, 120, you should get 360. Number 2. Find the value of x in this. Again, we have a quadrilateral, but we got opposite sides parallel here, opposite sides parallel here. So we have a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. In a parallelogram, the opposite angles are equal in a parallelogram. So that means that x squared plus x is equal to 8x plus 8. Opposite angles equal. We solve that. Notice we have a quadratic, which is x squared. So we'll move all terms to the left side and change 8x become negative 8x. 8 becomes negative 8 equals 0. X squared minus 7x minus 8 equals 0. This is a quadratic, so let's see if we can do it by factoring. Again, x squared is made up of x and x. Notice the product is negative 8, which is on the end. The sum is negative 7, which is in the middle. The factors of 8 are 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. Which pair of factors will give me a 7? And notice they differ. The sum is a negative, so 8 and 1 will give me a 7. Because the sum is negative, that means one of the factors has to be positive and one has to be negative. So when they add to get a negative 7, it must be negative 8 and a positive 1. So multiply, negative 8 times 1 is negative 8, add negative 7. So that means x minus 8 equals 0. Whoops. Or x plus 1 equals 0. So x is equal to 8. Or x is equal to negative 1. So we have to, there's two values of x as a quadratic, but we have to check. So let's check x equals 8. So x squared plus x is 8. So 64 plus 8 is 72. That's okay. And we have 8x plus 8. So 8x, x is 8. So 8 times 8, 64 plus 8 is 72. So x equals 8 is okay. Now let's look at x equals -1. X squared plus 1. -1 squared plus -1. X is -1. -1 squared is 1. Minus 1 is 0. And we can't have 0. So x minus 1 is not true. So the answer is 8. Again, we have two answers, but the -1 can't be used because it gives me 0 for the angle. And number 3, this is looks like I have a rectangle, 4 right angles. The perimeter is 42, find his area. So 3x plus 11, that's the length, and this is the width. Remember, 3x is bigger than 2x, and you add on 11, so that's the length and the width. So what we have is a length, width. So the perimeter, opposite sides are equal, that's why length, we have 2L plus 2W. So the perimeter is 42, so 42 equals 2L plus 2W. And we have the width also, and the length. So the length is 3x plus 11, and the width is 2x. So that gives us 42, 6x plus 22, and 4x. So 42 equals 10x plus 22. Now I can leave the 10x there and move it over, so I get a negative, and 22 minus 42, negative 10x equals negative 20. Divide by negative 10. X is 2. So if x is 2, so let's look at the length is 3x plus 11. So x is 2. 6 plus 11 is 17. The width is 2x, so that's 2 times x is 2. So the width is 4. And the area of a rectangle is length times width. So the length is 17. And the width is 4, which gives us an area of 68. And since the units are in centimeters, then this is square centimeters. The area is 68. Opposite sides are equal, so there's 2 lengths and 2 widths to put into the formula for perimeter. And again, you can pause the video at any time and work these out. Now we have another diagram of a quadrilateral, but notice this time we have 4 sides equal. Okay, that means we have a rhombus because we have 4 sides equal. So it says angle 1 is 5x plus 12. Angle 2 is 3x plus 20. Angle 3 is 4y plus 16. And it says find the value of y. Now we have a rhombus. So what are the properties of a rhombus? Well, we know all the sides are equal because they're given. And we know that opposite sides are parallel to each other. So I'm going to put an angle 4 right here. So also we have these 2 sides equal. So that means 1 is equal to 4. Isosceles triangle theorem, 2 sides are equal, then the angles opposite the sides are equal. But the diagonal of a rhombus, the diagonal bisects the angle. So if the diagonal bisects the angle, that means that angle 1 is equal to angle 2. So if the measure of 1 is 5x plus 12, the measure of 2 is 3x plus 20. So we solve that out. Move the x's to the left. Move the numbers to the right. 2x is equal to 8. Divide by 2. X is equal to 4. Now we have x is equal to 4. That means that we have angle 1 is equal to 5x plus 12, so x is 4, so 20 plus 12 is 32. But we also know that angle 1 is equal to angle 4 because of the ITT. That means that if angle 1 is 32, that means that angle 4 must be 32. And if that be the case, then in the triangle, we have angle 3 plus angle 1 plus angle 4 is 180 in a triangle. So angle 1 is 32. Angle 4 is 32. So angle 3 plus 64 equals 180. So angle 3 is 180 minus 64. So angle 3 is 116. So the y that we want to find is in angle 3. So if angle 3 is equal to 4y plus 16, angle 3 is 116. So we sub it in. So we can leave the 4y there and move it over. I'm going to leave it right there and go 116 minus 16. So that gives me 100. So I divide by 4. So y is equal to 25. Again, using the properties of a rhombus, because four sides are equal, the diagonals bisect the angles. And we also know that the opposite angles are equal, etc. And because all the sides are equal, then this is an isosceles triangle with these two angles equal. Number 5, we have a figure, and it says that FHTM is a rectangle. FHTM is a rectangle. And we're given that FT is equal to 7x minus 2. MH is 4x plus 10. And HT is 2x plus 2. MT is equal to y. Find the value of y. So that means we got to find what the length of M is. Okay, so what do we know about the properties of a rectangle? Well, we have all 90-degree angles in the corners because we have a rectangle. We also know that FT is equal to MH because the diagonals are equal in a rectangle. That means that 7x minus 2 is equal to 4x plus 10. So 7x minus 4x is equal to 10 plus 2. 3x is equal to 12. Divide by 3. X is equal to 4. So if x is equal to 4, and we got the length of a diagonal, so that means we have MH is equal to 4x plus 10. So that means that x is 4. So that's 16 plus 10. And we got HT, so we know that the length of this MH is 26. So what we're looking at right now, we're looking at this. I'm going to look at this triangle. That's HMT. So I have MH is 26, and there's the right angle, and I want MT, which is the y. So HT is 2x plus 2. X is 4. That's 8 plus 2 is 10. So we have a 10. So we have a right triangle because this is a right triangle because there's a right angle here at T. So that means the Pythagorean property is C squared is A squared plus B squared. The hypotenuse is 8 MH, which is 26. A is 10, and that's B squared. which is y squared. So 26 is 676. 10 squared is 100. So y squared is 676 minus 100. So y squared is 576. So the square root of y squared is plus minus the square root of 576. Square root of y squared is y. Square root of 576 is plus or minus 24. Use your calculator. So that means that y is equal to 24 because we can't use the negative. Okay, using the properties of the different types of quadrilaterals is coming up with an equation. And number 6, we have a triangle. Notice that these are marked equal. These are marked equal. That means E is a midpoint and B is a midpoint. So what we have is that because there's a midpoint, that BE is parallel to CT and BE is a half of CT because of the Line Theorem. That means if the line is drawn to the two midpoints of the side of a triangle, then that segment or line, a segment, is parallel to the third side and half of it. So that means I'm dealing with CT is 40 and BE is 11x minus 13. I got to find the value of x. So that means that BE is a half of CT. So BE is 11x minus 13, and that's a half of CT, which is 40. So 11x minus 13 is equal to 20. 11x is 20 plus 13. 11x is 33 divided by 11. X equals 3. Again, it's the midline theorem that we did the proof on earlier and use the midline theorem to do some proofs. Number 7, again, don't forget to pause the video and work these out before I do. See if you can comprehend or understand how to get the equation, how to solve. And we have a quadrilateral here with these angles marked with 5y and 12, 4x minus 8, and 2x minus or plus 20. MATH is an isosceles trapezoid. Find the values of x and y. If we have an isosceles trapezoid, we have the legs equal. So MH is equal to AT. We also know that the base angles of an isosceles, so this angle here is equal to this one, and this angle is equal to this one. So we have these two angles equal. So that means that 4x minus 8 is equal to 2x plus 20. So we solve the equation, move the x to the left and the negative 8 to the right. So 2x is 28 divided by 2. X equals 14. Oh, make it a 14. Okay. So if we have, that's 14, so that means that the angle H is equal to 4x minus 8. X is 14, sub it in. So that gives me 56 minus 8. So angle H is 48, so that's 48 degrees there. And this angle is also 48 without, you can plug it in if you want and check. So 14, 2 times 14 is 28, 28 and 20, yes, we know they're equal, so just checking. So they're both 48. And we want to find, we have the value of x, we now need the value of y. So what happens is that angle M plus angle H is 180 degrees because these lines are parallel to each other because we have a trapezoid. Because we have a trapezoid, one pair of opposite sides are parallel, so there they are. So that means that these same side interior angles are supplementary. Or the consecutive angles of an isosceles trapezoid are supplementary. They add up 180. So we have angle H is equal to 48. So angle M, 180 minus 48. So angle M is equal to, and that adds up to 132. So angle M is 5y plus 12. So that means that 5y plus 12 is 132. And we solve the equation. Move the 12 to the right. Make it a minus. That's 120. Divide by 5. And y becomes 24. So x is 14 and y is 24. Using the properties of an isosceles trapezoid, which means the legs are equal and the base angles. These two angles are equal and these two angles are equal. Solving the equations. And number 8. Again, notice we have a trapezoid. We have these two sides parallel. We notice we have these are marked equal, so that's a midpoint. And these are marked equal, so that's a midpoint. So that means that we know that the median of a trapezoid is half the sum of the bases, which is one of the earlier theorems. So that means that the median is, this is the median, and this is base 1, and this is base 2. So the median is 7x plus 4 is a half of 3x plus 4 add on 7x plus 12. So 7x plus 4, let's do inside the bracket first. 3x and 7x is 10x. 4 and 12 is 16. And we multiply by a half. A half of 10 is 5x. Half of 16 is 8. And we solve it. 7x minus 5x is 8 minus 4. 2x equals 4. Divide by 2. X equals 2. And if x equals 2, we want to find the length of TH. The length of TH. So TH is equal to 3x plus 4. So x is 2, sub it in. 6 plus 4 gives you 10. And we have it worked out. So that's a 10. And if you want to check it, we got the answer 10. X is 2. So you put 2 in here and you get a 10. Put 2 in here and you get 28. That's 28. Plus 4 is 32. And, oh, it's 32. 40. Put 2 in here and I get 2 times 7 is 14, that's 18. And put a 2 here. I get a 14 plus 12 is 26. So check. Add up these two. 36 divided by 2 is 18. That's that. I just checked it quickly. And number 9, the last one to do. And notice that we have P, Q, R, T is a kite. And in a kite, the adjacent sides are equal. So these sides are equal in a kite, and there's no parallel sides. What we have is PSQ is 3x. PSQ is 3x. We have PQS. PQS is 2x. And we have SPQ. SPQ is 7x. So this is a 7x right here. And PS is 6. So this is 6 units long here. It says find the exact length of SQ. How are we going to get the exact length? We only got a 6, so we got to get SF, and we got to get FQ and add them together. So notice that I gave you the angles of a triangle. So that means that 3x, add on 2x, add on 7x is 180. So that means you add that up, you get 12x is equal to 180. And to divide by 12, that means you have x is equal to 12 is 3x, and 4x is 12, as 1 is 15. So x is equal to 15. So that means that it has 15. So 3x is equal to, let's say that's angle PSF. So 3 times 15, that means angle PSF is equal to 45 degrees. So if this angle is 45, okay, and x is 15, so that means that angle PQS is equal to 2x, so 15. So that means that this angle is 30. Okay, and let's look at angle SPQ is equal to 7x. 7 times 15 is 105. So this angle up here is 105. Okay, how am I going to get the length? So I have to notice that we have a kite, and the diagonals of a kite are perpendicular. So these are all right angles right here. The diagonals of a kite are perpendicular. And not only that, the long diagonal, which is this one, bisects PR, but we want the right angles. Notice now that we have 45, 90, so this angle here is 45, because 45, 45, and 90 make 180, and that's a 90, and that's a 30, so that's 120, so this angle right here is 60, so 45 and 60 makes 105. So what we have is that I have a triangle which is P, F, S, 90, 45, 45. Notice I have a special right triangle. In this special right triangle, the legs are N, and N root 2. So that means that N root, better be careful, N root 2 is a 6. So we divide by root 2 on each side. They cancel. So N is 6 over root 2. You got to rationalize root 2 over root 2. So that's 6 root 2 over 2. So N is 3 root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Also on the other side, we have this triangle. We have the triangle P, F, Q, right angle. That's a 30, and that's a 60. Again, we have a special right triangle of 30, 60, 90. And opposite 30 goes in. Opposite the hypotenuse is 2n. Opposite 60 is n root 3. So if you notice that if this side right here is n root 2, or sorry, 3 root 2, right here, so that's SF is 3 root 2. That means that this side is 3 root 2, because the two sides are equal in a 45 right triangle. So that means that PF in this triangle, PF is 3 root 2. PF, these two are equal, 3 root 2s. This is PF. So that means that N is 3 root 2. So we want FQ. FQ is N root 3. So N is 3 root 2. times root 3. So that's 3. Root 2 times root 2 is root 6. So FQ is 3 root 6. That means that SQ is equal to SF plus FQ. FS is 3 root 2. FQ is 3 root 6. So we have the length of SQ as an exact value. You cannot add these roots together because they're not like radicals. They're not like terms. And again, hopefully this one is meant to be a little bit longer, help you to think, but it's a good problem. It does a lot of math. And again, we're reviewing the special right triangles and trig, and reviewing a lot of math goes into this one. And that brings us to the end of the video. And if you like my video, click on the like button, subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.